Brad, Bill Doyle, Worcester Telegram.
Hi, Bill.
Worcester Telegram. Can you just talk about the defense on Isaiah, what Rondo and the Bulls did to contain him?
Well, they're doing a great job of flying all over the place, and Rondo is on him at the start of a lot of possessions, but they haven't been afraid to switch. They haven't been afraid to full rotate onto other guys. They haven't been afraid to show more help off of other guys and fly around. And, you know, I thought that he did a pretty good job of getting to the foul line, obviously, and taking advantage of the plays he could. But, you know, us as a team, I just felt like we had too many empty possessions, especially in that, you know, late first half. It was going back and forth, and we had some, you know, some possessions you just can't have. And then as well in the third quarter when they made their run again.
It seems like when you guys get some side-to-side movement, they're really jumping passing lanes. Is there a little bit of going through the motions with that side-to-side movement?
I don't think we're getting enough of it, Kevin. I think we're, you know, a lot of times in transition, I think we're just trying to get, you know, down 10, trying to get the game back in one play. I felt like that in the first half. But, you know, I think obviously we're going to have to play more purposeful offense that will help our defense. And then the defensive rebounding is an issue. And I thought we started the game great, first 4 possessions, and then the next 10 were not as great. You know, if you have to guard, you know, however many possessions you have to guard in a game, 4 is not enough.
Jared Weiss, CLNS Radio, kind of in the same vein. Do you feel like you guys are maybe rushing looks on offense, not really searching for the best look, and the feeling that you kind of need to get as many opportunities to try to work back into the game at times?
A little bit of that. A little bit of that. I think we're sped up a little bit by their defense, too. I think that their length and their ball pressure and Wade and Butler and Rondo and you know, their bench and the bigs are just really up and active in utilizing their length on us. And so we're going to have to be better spaced, and we're going to have to get the ball side to side in an appropriate fashion and then attack from there and hopefully be more patient on Friday.
Brad, Gary Walsh from Boston Globe. Is it a helpless feeling on the sideline when it seems like they had every answer? Zipster, 11 or 13 points, Wade, 2 threes. It seems like every time you guys made a push, they responded. And how do you get the guys galvanized over the next 72 hours to try to get this again?
We have to get ready to play great on Friday. That's what our focus has to be. We don't have any other choice. And that's what we said in the locker room, and that's it. We'll dissect the film. We'll go through it. We'll figure out what we didn't do well, and there will be quite a lot, and then go from there. But the you know, the Zipsers, Mirotic, Portis, those guys have had huge impacts on the first 2 games of this series. I mean, I expect it from Wade, right? I mean, I think we all do. You know, last year I think he hit, you know, less than 10 threes during the regular season, then more than that in the first round of the playoffs. Like this is who he is, and it's who Rondo's been, you know, throughout his career. I mean, the level that he's playing at is terrific, and then Butler's Butler. So, but those other guys are really impacting the series in a big way.
Paul Flannery, SB Nation. Yeah, just to follow up on that, you sort of hit on that. The role players getting off. I mean, is that a function of coverages, or is the defensive effort lagging? How do you sort of account for those guys getting off like that?
I'll have to go back and watch Mirotic's. Now, Mirotic has had some big games since they've moved him to the 4-man, to starting 4-man, and when they won 8 out of 11 at the end of the year, I thought that was a big reason why, as I was watching. We just have to do as good of a job as we can on helping appropriately and then getting high hands when we get back to those guys. You know, Wade has shot a few shots where we haven't challenged them as well as we could. You know, Zipser, you know, Mirotic, those guys. I actually thought that Al did a pretty good job on a couple of their ATO actions, chasing and challenging them. Only one of those he made. The rest of them he didn't. But he did get a couple of open looks early in that first quarter that was, you know, got him going. And the worst thing is when a guy goes 1 for 9 in game 1, he gets going, gets feeling good, sees the ball go through the net. you know, tough stuff.
Brad, Chris Gasper, Boston Globe, right here. You guys have such a deep team. You have a lot of options. That's really one of your great attributes. However, when you get into a series like this and you're sort of searching for the right rotation, the right combination, the right permutation, can it become a detriment trying to find who plays well together, who has it?
Well, our bench has had its moments. There's no question about it. But we've also struggled a little bit when we've gone there recently. We just got to find the right fit for this series, right? And I thought Tyler Zeller did some really good things. But some of the biggest shots of the whole game were Lopez's jump shots. You know, he hit those 3 jump shots in the second quarter or third quarter that kind of stemmed the tide of our run and were huge. But I thought that Tyler did some pretty good things in that stint. I thought Terry Rozier was excellent. And I thought going into the game we needed more speed and ball handling than we had in game 1. You know, if you play in Isaiah and Marcus, you know, and having one primary point guard or one primary ball handler, it's more effective to have 2 with the way those guys are flying around, and we want to space and be able to do that. So I was encouraged by Terry. So I expect him to continue to see time.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Brad, Horford seems to have gotten off to a pretty slow start in this series. What do you need out of him? What might he do better?
Just need him to be the best version of himself. I thought he did a good job, especially early in the game. On those first 4 possessions, he was the one that was cleaning up all the rebounds. I thought he was pretty active in blocking out the whole night and rebounding for us. We have to be able to play him at the 4 and play through him in the post some and get good position down there. And we have to be able to play, you know, in spacing with him versus their 5s. But their 5s are doing a great job of getting out and making it tough. And, you know, as we've talked about, Rondo, Wade, Butler, Zipser, Mirotic, blah, 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 Lopez has crushed us, right? And so we've got to collectively figure that out.
Yes.
Okay, Sharp Blakely, Comcast Sportsnet, and you just touched on Lopez and just what he has meant to this series. Going forward, Brad, what can you do at this point to limit his effectiveness, both in terms of rebounding and scoring?
Well, I mean, the jump shots are huge. I mean, you're going to have to help appropriately and then get back out and challenge him as well as you can. You know, but he shoots those at 44% from the mid-range, which is really, really good. You know, when you consider bigs. But you probably are going to take that with a late challenge over a layup or a wide open 3. And we got to do a better job getting out and challenge him. And then, you know, we got to find the best guys to get him off the glass.
Hey, Brad. Joseph Pavone, WEEI.com, Causeway Street blog. We saw Jaylen Brown make an early entrance in the first quarter, and we didn't see him again until the 4th. You talk about trying to round out the rest of this bench. We know what Kelly Olynyk and Marcus Smart have been doing for you in this series. How do you round out the rest of this rotation?
He was struggling, I thought, in that stint. You know, played a little bit better in the last 6 minutes, which was good. Hopefully he can get something going from that. But I just decided to go with Terry. I thought Terry played really well. And you know, I felt like the ball handling was really important. And, you know, hey, not every stint's going to go great. And you know, we believe in Jaylen when his number's called.